What up, everybody? This is Mark from Suicide Silence.
And this is Brian Fair from Shadows Fall.
This is Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder here.
Yo, this is Gary Hall from Exodus and recently retired from Slayer. And
Hello, this is Becky Boulder from Hamburg Rebel and Fury.
Hey, this is Charlie with Anthrax. I just want to give a shout out to Pedal to the Metal Radio, the podcast.
The podcast to get all your rock and metal news plus reviews.
Keep it metal. Pedal to the Metal Radio, motherfuckers!
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Pedal to the Metal Radio, the podcast. This is the YouTube edition of Rock and Metal News. We're calling it Bite Size. That's right, because usually we're only just reporting about one article here. But I'm your host, Eddie Monster. Welcome. If you're joining us for the first time on the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. We appreciate everybody that we get. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It helps us out, and it keeps you in tune with everything that we're doing. And we're trying to promise big things this year. That's what we're trying. Anyways, we got an interesting news story that we're going to report to you guys right now. And it's one that kind of baffles me because I feel like if the decision goes a certain way, it's going to set off a chain of events that could be a little hairy if you ask me. You know what I mean? I just don't understand the validity of the argument itself, but everybody knows that metal band Tool is currently being sued. That's right. So the band performed at this festival that was their own. It was in the Dominican Republic, and it was a 3-night event, and Tool was playing the first and second nights of the event. First night went off like a smash. Guess everybody was happy. Everything was good in the neighborhood, as they say. But then came night 2, and apparently it pissed everybody off to the point that they were booing the band, leaving messages the next day on the porches of their hotel room saying, you know, fuck Maynard James Keenan, so on and so forth. People were pissed. Well, apparently, this is the reason they were pissed, okay? And I'm going to show it to you right now.
Your Honor, I object!
And why is that, Mr. Reed?
Because it's devastating to my case!
Overruled.
And as you can see, these are 2 set lists. One set list on the left is from the first night. Set list on the right is from the second night. And apparently they're complaining because they got the same exact set list both nights. But as you can clearly tell by looking at both set lists, you did not get the same set list both nights in a row. The only difference is you got 10 songs on one night and you got 9 songs on the next night.
I don't know.
There are some differences. There are some things that are the same, right? The band promised, according to everybody there, the band promised that there were going to be 2 different set lists. Now, it didn't say that it wasn't going to feature some songs and then different songs along together. So literally this was up to the band's interpretation, so on and so forth. So as you can see, they got essentially 2 different set lists, but they're still crying about it, and the band is still in trouble. And this is according to an article on metalinjection.net. So Stan Rusek apparently is a lawyer in the state of Georgia.
Never heard of him.
And he's trying to rally up fans that were at this event to basically take part in a class action lawsuit. Now, you guys have all seen this. You get the emails like, oh, T-Mobile ripped you off for so much money, or Verizon ripped you off, or did you order this, you know, these pay-per-views from this company? Well, they ripped you off for this, so you may be entitled to some money. Okay. Same kind of deal here, basically. So according to Metal Hammer, Rusek basically told them that this was the 27th or 28th time he has seen Tool, and he felt betrayed. He says, what it boils down to is that purchasers of the festival package were promised 2 unique sets by Tool. While the comments on these posts argue about what unique means, the reality is that the opportunity to see Tool play 2 unique sets, i.e. no repeats, was the determining factor for most attendees to pull the trigger on spending thousands of dollars to attend. Now, if you ask me, I don't think it's that big of a deal. First of all, you got to have an amazing trip to the Dominican Republic. There is nothing there that states that that band, okay, was going to play unique sets, right? Meaning 2 different set lists. Then you got to think about how old Tool is at this point. Can they still perform a lot of the songs that we love? Obviously, there are tracks that they can't do anymore because they're older, and obviously we all see this in every band. But my biggest argument is, do you know how many bands I've seen live who have given disappointing sets? Whether it be they sucked that night, whether it be one member was so drunk that he was stumbling everywhere. I've seen plenty of those, and I've seen plenty of those from big names. You know, big names like Zakk Wylde, big names like the Deftones. I've seen plenty of shitty sets. I remember one I saw from Korn one year when they were promoting, Korn 3, you know, the one with Oildale. That was a shitty set that I saw at that year's Mayhem Fest, at least in my opinion. I've seen subpar sets from Marilyn Manson before, okay? Now, does that give me the right that I was disappointed that I should be able to sue Marilyn Manson or Metallica or Black Label Society or the Deftones? No. It doesn't. And if the judge does rule in these guys' favor, it's going to set off a chain of events that, yikes, what could possibly happen later on in the future, right? I mean, are people going to be able to sue bands from now on moving forward? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me what's going to happen. That's all I'm going to say from here on out. And remember, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, including myself. I always say that, right? Take my opinion for what it is. Take it or leave it. But it's just how I feel. Remember, please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate every subscriber that we get. It helps out a lot in getting us promoted and just getting the word out there. And remember, support your local scene. It's most important. There are tons of rock and metal bands that are always trying to make it. It all starts somewhere. You know what I mean? But with that being said, I will see you guys next time.